Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. If you remember last time I taught you phrases, clauses and sentences, and this time we have another topic for you: conditional sentences, modals and vocabulary. In vocabulary I shall teach you some strategies about improving your vocabulary and tell you why vocabulary learning is important. Okay, I'll start. List of contents, as I told you: conditional sentences, modals and vocabulary. Conditional sentences. Now students always find them confusing. The point is, what is the reason? Why are they confusing? There is a specific reason for that, because there is a condition in it. That's why the rules change. If you look at the grammar, the meaning, if you have the present tense, the meaning is different. Sometimes it is future. We use imaginary, hypothetical situations. That's why it often becomes confusing for the students. And conditional sentences, if I give you a simple definition, they describe situations which can be real, possible, unlikely or imaginary, and they depend on the particular condition. Only if this condition is fulfilled, then a result is possible. Now, conditional sentences are composed of two parts. You see, after one part we put a comma. I will say they consist of two clauses. Okay, the if clause, in the first part we have the if clause, there we have the condition, and the main clause has the result. So remember the basic rule: the if clause and the main clause which has the result in it. Now let me try first. For your overview, I'll give you some basic examples. Look, if you heat water, it boils. If you heat water, this is the first part of the sentence, this is the first clause, and then we put a comma. If shows condition, so the first part contains condition. It boils, this is the result. Interesting thing to note, this is a real situation. It always happens like that. Okay, it's real, it's in the present. You get my point? It is the present tense, it is the present situation. Now look at the other one. If it rains, I will bring an umbrella. What does this mean? If it rains, I will bring an umbrella. This is a possible future situation. It is a possible future situation. If it rains, I will bring an umbrella. So the condition of bringing an umbrella is on rain. Okay, you can easily see that if it rains, again the simple present has been used there. I will bring, so it's different. Okay, we have will, we have the future tense here. All right, then if I won the lottery, I would buy a house. Now this is unlikely future. If I won the lottery, what does it show? Have I won the lottery? No. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house. Now this shows a bit of complication. This shows something different. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house, but I haven't won a lottery yet. That's the point. Look, if I had eaten carefully, I would have enjoyed good health. Now this is easy to understand. This shows one thing: I have bad eating habits. In my life, I don't eat healthy food. If I had eaten carefully, I would have enjoyed good health. This means currently, at the moment, my health is not good. So this is an imaginary, hypothetical situation, unreal situation, impossible situation. I am talking about past, some past action which did not happen, and its imagined future result. Does it look funny? There's something in the past I did not do, and so I did not get something. I did not get the required result. So why am I unhappy now? You see, this situation, I should have done something to get the result. Okay, now let's move on. Now try to grasp the main idea, zero conditional. What are the types of conditionals? Zero conditional, facts that are always true. In zero conditional, we use facts that are always true. Of course, scientific facts, universal truths, something which happen in the same way if the condition is met, if the condition is fulfilled. I will keep using this word condition all the time because conditional sentences depend on if, they depend on the condition. Okay, first conditional, possible future events. This means this thing is possible in future. This thing, this action, this situation is possible. I'm not saying that it would always 100% happen like that. No. Look, we have used the word possible. So we are talking about a possibility. Okay. Second conditional, imaginary or unlikely events. Now, imaginary events, you see, we always talk about some situations in the present, you see, and we are thinking about the future. Some situation of the present, we use the, I'll tell you about the tense also. But there, the chances of happening are very dim, very bleak, very little, or sometimes even impossible, hypothetical. I will explain you how. Third conditional, imaginary past events. I am dreaming about past. In some past condition, if this happened, this I would have got this much money. So you can say it is all unreal situation when we talk about the third conditional. We move on. English conditionals, scale of probability. Now this is very interesting. Please try to grasp some idea. I have on the screen definite, look at the line, definite, impossible. Okay, on my left is definite, on my right is impossible. Now between, what is in between, I'll tell you. Definite is zero conditional. Like I told you, if you heat water, it boils. This is a scientific truth. It will always happen like that. Now the possible one, the first conditional, if I have time later, I'll do some shopping. If I have some time later, there it's the possibility. Remember, we are talking about the possibility. It may not happen like that, but the possibility is there of this action happening. Now look at the second conditional. If it rained tomorrow, I would stay inside. I'd stay inside. Now what is this? Second conditional. This means the weather forecast report has told me there is no chance of rain tomorrow. Okay, that's why it is unlikely. If it rained tomorrow, I would stay inside. All right, so this is unlikely. It may rain, we don't know, but that's something unlikely. All right, then look at the impossible one. If I had known, I would have told you. This means I did not know, so I could not tell you. I did not tell you. So this is an impossible situation. Why? Time cannot go back. We cannot go back and correct ourselves. Yes, once time is gone, it's gone. So this is an impossible condition. Now let's move on. I'll try to explain you zero conditional in a bit detail. We use zero conditional sentences to express general truths, scientific truths, and situations that always occur when a certain condition is met. Zero conditional, okay, scientific truths, universal facts, universal truths. So simple, it will always happen like that. Structure, first part of the sentence, if plus present simple, comma, present simple again. Look, if you heat water, it boils. If you heat water, now look, in the first part of the sentence, you can see, you can recognize from the color, the green and the other color. If you heat water, it boils. Heat. We have if there, then we have heat. Heat, please tell me, is it the present term, present verb, the past or the past participle? Yes? Yes, it is the present. If you heat water, it boils. Boils again, first form, is the first form of the verb. So in the first part you have if plus present tense. In the second part again you have the present simple. If plus present simple, comma, and present simple. So this is always true. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. You know, those students who have some knowledge of science, they can recognize when you mix red and blue, you get purple color. It is always like that. It doesn't change. Yes, you can have different shades. If you know amount of red and blue is different, you might get a different shade of purple. Keep this thing in mind, please. Then, if you heat ice, it melts. It is always like that. Whenever you heat ice, it would melt. Okay, it will melt. So this is the rule. This is the zero conditional. Zero conditional actually doesn't have anything technical inside or challenging inside it to understand, because this is talking about the general truths, scientific facts and all when a condition is met. So they always happen like that. Now I'll give you an activity. Make zero conditional sentences in the given exercise. Look at this exercise. This will help you. Remember one thing, please, my dear students. Whenever you do exercises, only then you gain some confidence. You learn the language. Just learning it, you will forget the next time. Do some exercises, please. Exercise, complete the sentences using the correct form. If you ice, it melts. We did this. Yes? Anyone? If you heat ice, it melts. Then, if you, we did this example. If you mix red and blue, you get or got? You get. Use the present simple. Use the first form of the verb without to. Use the base form, okay? Use the base form. Use the first form of the verb, okay? We don't need to use the past or the past participle here. If people eat too much sugar, they get cavities. Now this sentence, I've made it for you. If people eat, I cannot say here if people ate. Remember, this is the zero conditional. If people ate too much sugar, they get cavities. Get the present form of the verbs, and we know it. This is what happens when we eat too much sugar. If you, now you guess, if you turn off the lights, yes, the first form. If you turn, the present form. If you turn off the lights, the room becomes, very good, the room becomes dark. The room becomes dark. So is it not always like that? Is it not a fact? Is it not something true? When you switch off the light, the room will get dark. Yes, it will become dark. This is what we know from our experience. Okay? Then, if rain, the ground wet. If, yes, it rains, yes. If it rains, the ground gets wet. Very good. First form in the first part of the sentence, second part of the sentence, the first form. Most important thing which you should not forget is if. Note the if in all these sentences. Okay? Don't forget if, and don't forget the position of if. I'll explain you later. Now this is the key. I just want to tell you one thing. I have solved it with you, but let me tell you a golden rule. Whenever you have an exercise to do, always first try to do it yourself. Don't jump to the key to find the answers. This is not going to help you. This is a bad habit, okay? Please remember this. First conditional sentences. We talk about possible future events that are likely to happen if a certain condition is met. Likely to happen. Okay, there are chances of happening. Now see, structure. If plus present simple, will plus base form. What is the difference? How do you differentiate from the first one? Zero. Here we have will. Remember this. This is making the difference. If you study hard, you will pass your exam. If you study hard, look, study hard, we have used if and the present simple. Yes, study, we use the first form. You will pass your exam. Now there is one addition, will. We have put will here. You will pass your exam. You see, this is talking about possible future events that are likely to happen. They may happen like these in future. Okay, this is the difference. Please differentiate this from the zero conditional. It is very important. Move on to the next slide. First conditional, again, same example. If you study hard, if I study hard, I will pass the exam. Okay, it depends on my study. If it rains tomorrow, we will cancel the picnic. I'm talking about a condition. If it rains tomorrow, we will cancel the picnic. So the condition of cancelling the picnic is on rain, but it is possible. It is likely to happen. There are chances it may not happen. Remember this thing. Okay, we are talking about a possibility, right? Variations. Now this is important. We can use may, might or can instead of will for less certainty, for less surety. May, might or can. Example, if you hurry, you might catch the bus. Now this meaning gets a little different. There is less certainty here, less surety here. Let's say it's 50-50 or something like this, or less than that, or even lesser than that. You might catch the train. Now look at the activity. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verb in the first conditional sentences. Complete the sentences with the correct form. If you what? Now you will help me. If you, what did we say? In the first part of the sentence, it should be the present. Okay, the first form of the verb. If you study hard, you pass the exam? No. What did I say? There is something extra here. Will. You will pass the exam. It is important to put will, please. So my passing the exam depends on my study, depends on my hard work. Remember, if it tomorrow the picnic, the same sentence like before. If it rains, we cancelled? No, we will cancel. We will. Add will and the first form of the verb. We call it technically the bare infinitive. Okay, it is without to. Then, if she, the job, she to New York. If she what? Yes, gets the job. Present form. She will move. Very good. Very good. She will move to New York. Okay, it's important to add will. Just remember, if they invite us, now it should be easy. Will attend. Yes, will attend the party. If they invite us, we will attend the party. Next, if he apologizes, she will be happy. If he apologizes, she will be happy. Look here in the first part of the sentence, condition is there. Based on the condition, there is a result. That's why we call them conditional sentences. Then answer key here. I'll say the same thing, please. First, try to do the exercise yourself. This time I have done it with you. Okay, so next time when you find some exercises from internet, from good books, try to do the exercise yourself, please. Remember, this is important. Then go to the key. Okay, second, conditional sentences. In these sentences we talk about situations, okay, which are unlikely or imaginary. We talked about unlikely or imaginary situations in the present or future and their possible results. Now, This is tricky. Unlikely or imaginary situations in the present or future and their possible results. Structure: if plus past simple, comma, would plus base form. Now, this needs some explanation. If I ran every day, I would win the race. If I ran every day, I would. There's an unlikely situation here. We are using the past form in the first clause. If I ran every day. But what does that mean? It means I don't run every day. The truth is, I don't run every day. If I ran okay, I can start running, I can start any day, but at the moment when I'm talking to you, I'm saying if I ran every day, that tells us that I don't run every day. I would win the race. I'm talking about a future result. Though I'm not running every day, but I am saying if this happens, this would happen. Okay, if I ran every day, I would. So we are talking about an unlikely situation. Okay, if I worked hard, I would pass my exam. I would pass my exam. If I work hard, what does it show? Do I work hard? No. That's the conditional part of the sentence. When it says if I worked hard, this means I'm not working hard. I'm not a hard worker. This is what it is showing. If I worked hard, I would pass my exam. Only on this condition, I may pass my exam in future. I would pass my exam. You see, would pass, would win in the first sentence, would pass. We are talking about conditional. You may confuse it with will. I will come tomorrow. This is a simple future tense. I will come tomorrow. There is some certainty in it. When you say I would win, I would come tomorrow, this means it depends on some condition. Remember, I will come tomorrow, I would come tomorrow are not same. Whenever you're talking to someone, you say, oh, I would pass my exam. This shows there's some uncertainty, there's some condition, there's something wrong. When you say, I will pass my exam, I will win the race, it shows certainty, okay? It doesn't show any condition there, okay? Now, so with simple future, don't confuse it. I would win the race, I will win the race. We don't need to confuse these two. Then, if I had wings, I would fly. Come on, man. Do I have wings? We are human beings. We don't have wings. We are not birds. If I had wings, I would fly. If I had wings. So what situation is this? Just tell me. This is hypothetical. This is impossible situation. If I had wings, I would fly. We don't have wings, so this is not possible. Now rewrite sentences to create second conditional structure. Complete the sentences using the correct form. Complete the sentences using the correct form. If I, the lottery, I buy. Yes. If I win the lottery? No. If I will win? No. Then what? If I won. In these sentences, in the first part of the sentence, we use the past form. If I won the lottery. If I won the lottery, I buy. I will buy. What? No. I would buy. I would buy. Remember last time? Will buy. Here we have would buy. I would buy a new car. So buying of new car depends on the situation. In future, I'm just thinking if I win the lottery, you know, winning a lottery is not easy. It's unlikely, you know. It's not easy to win a lottery, okay? If he be taller, he a basketball player. Yes? What do you say? If he, the past of be was. If he was taller, he, now you will tell me, I will not give you the answer. He would become. Very good. he would become a basketball player. Look at sentence number 3. If we use the past form please. If we lived in Paris, we will speak? No? Okay. Then would speak. Right. We would speak French fluently. Yes, that's right. If he, wasn't so busy. Good. The past. The rule is use the past in the first clause, in the if clause. If he wasn't so busy, he would join us for dinner. Very good. He would join us for dinner. Number 5, if they, now, what is the past form of have? If they had. Very good. If they had more money, they would travel more often. So traveling depends on money. It's just thinking, whenever we are using these sentences, if I was taller, if he was taller, you see, this means he's not tall at the moment. If we lived in Paris means we are not in Paris. We are not living in Paris. If we say, if he wasn't so busy, you see, this shows he's busy. If they had more money, if they had more money, what does it mean? They don't have money. They are just thinking if they had more money, they would travel. Unlikely situations because they don't have money. All right, this is what you would remember. Let's go to the next. This is the key. Okay, when you start it yourself, please try to do it yourself, then look at the key. Okay, I hope you got my point. Now the third conditional sentences. We use third conditional sentences to talk about past situations that did not happen and their imagined results. Past situations that did not happen and their imagined results. Does it look funny? Now say, if I had studied more, I would have passed my exam. What is this sentence telling you? If I had studied more, I would have passed my exam. This means in past I did not study and I did not pass my exam. Impossible situation, hypothetical situations. This incident of failing has taken place in past. Failed. I can't do anything now. Nothing is possible now. That time is gone. If he had run faster, he would have won the race. This means he did not run fast, he lost the race. He did not run fast and he lost. Hypothetical situation. This thing has happened. He has lost the race, finished. So sometimes this looks very funny to students. We are talking about a hypothetical or impossible situations. We cannot go to the past and then rectify it. It is not possible. So third conditional, sometimes students find it funny, activity. Now, rewrite the given sentences to make appropriate third conditional sentences. Look at these. Number 1, if no, what would you say? If I know? No, wrong. If I knew? No, wrong. If I would know? No, wrong. Then if I had known, we are using the present perfect. We are using the present perfect. I'll explain you a bit again. You see, if I had studied more, look here, had studied is the past perfect. We are using the past. Had and studied is the third form of the verb. The past perfect structure has been used, tense has been used. I would have passed. Would have passed is conditional perfect sentence. Would have passed. We use would have and the third form of the verb. If I had studied, if he had run faster, had run is past perfect here. He would have won. we use would have and the past participle, the third form of the verb. Present, past, past participle. Present, past, past participle. This is how we make it. So in the first part of the sentence we have the past perfect. Second part, would have passed. If you just look at have passed, it looks like what? Present perfect. Would have passed, this is conditional perfect, okay? This is different, it is not present perfect. We are talking about some hypothetical situation, okay? Okay, if I had known about the party, then I go, will go, would go, what? Would have gone. If I had known about the party, I would have gone. Okay, third, if she, yes, had woken up earlier, then she would have caught the bus. This means she did not wake up early and she couldn't catch the bus. Over. If they, yes please, had saved. Past perfect. It's easy. It's not difficult. If they had saved money, they would have bought. Would have bought. Would have bought a house. You see, this means they did not save money and they were unable to buy the house. So I'm so sorry. For if we, yes, use had, past perfect has had in it. If we had, yes, if we had taken, look at third form, take, took, taken, take, took, taken. If we had taken the right turn, we would not have got lost. Would not have got lost. Okay, we use the negative form here. 5, if he, yes, now this is now this should be easy for you. If he had studied harder, he would have, and third form, would have passed. Again, it shows the same thing. He did not study in past and he did not study in past and he did not pass the exam. So third conditional talks about some impossible situation in the past, some situation in the past and the imagined result. Something in the past which did not happen and the imagined result. So you see, nothing happened in it. All right, move on to the next slide. Answer key, I told you the same thing, you can always check, okay? Then common errors in conditional sentences. What are the common errors in conditional sentences? Example error, if I will go, I will call you. No, in the if part of the sentence, we don't use will. If I go, I will call you. Please delete will from there, erase will from there. If I will go, no. If I go, I will call you. But you will see people using it wrongly. Okay, start noticing from today. People say if I will go, this is not right. When you have if I go, I will call you, this comes in the second clause. Okay, overuse of would in the if clause. See, if I would know, I would tell you. No, if I knew, I would tell you. Remember, we did this conditional. If I knew, I would tell you. Don't bring would here in the if part of the sentence. It is only in the result part, in the result clause. If I knew, I would tell you. Now, let's discuss modal verbs or modals. Student also find them tricky, modal verbs. Why? Modal verbs actually are helping verbs, are auxiliary verbs that express necessity, obligation, possibility, permission and ability. And students confuse them. Why are they called helping verbs? They help the main verb. That's why they are called helping verb. Okay, and we also call them auxiliary verbs. Now they have some functions. Let's discuss those. So it won't be anything surprising for you, anything difficult or challenging after this, I believe. Now, common modals. What are they? Will, would, can, could, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to. Okay, these are the common modal verbs. Now, examples of use. And have you seen these verbs? We use them every day. Okay, so don't be afraid of them. We use them and they are not difficult. Okay, example of use. Necessity, obligation. I have to pay my electricity bill tomorrow. I have to. This is showing some necessity, some obligation. I must exercise daily for good health. Okay, I have to pay my electricity bill. I will explain you this. You see, this is my obligation. This is the law. You see, this is what the electric department is telling me to do because I am using a facility. Okay, I must exercise daily for good health. This is, I'm saying something very strongly to myself. You see, this is necessary, okay, for me to survive, to have good health. Then for possibility, it might rain later. You see, might shows possibility. It may rain later. Okay, we are talking about a possibility. It can happen like that. It may not happen like that. I hope you get my point. I'll explain you in detail, okay? Then we have permission. Can I use your computer? Can I use your computer? I'm asking for permission. Okay, and we use it normally. Do you think it is difficult? It is not. Ability. I can swim 2 kilometers without stopping. I'm talking about my present ability. I'm talking about my skill. I'm talking about my strength. I can swim 2 kilometers without stopping. Okay? Now let's go in a bit detail. Overview. Modals and their uses. For possibility, please keep this, the screen, you see the slide I'm showing you, keep this thing in mind. Possibility. How do we show possibility? With the help of which modal verbs? Can, could, may, might. Can, could, may, might. Ability. How do we show ability? Can, could. I'll make sentences, okay? Just don't worry. Permission. Can, may. Can, may. Then obligation, necessity. Obligation, necessity. Must, have to, should, ought to. Must, have to, should, ought to. Then we have for offers, requests and suggestions. Offers, requests and suggestions. What do we have? Shall, will, would, can, could. Shall, will, would, can, could. These are for offers, requests and suggestions. Now, modals for possibility. Can, could, general. Sometimes we talk about general possibility. Example, anyone can join the club. This means it is allowed for anybody to join. Anybody can join the club. So this is a general possibility. Okay? Nobody can stop you. All right? It's for everybody. Then it could happen to anyone tomorrow. See, this accident, this incident could happen to anyone tomorrow. So here we are talking about a future possibility. You see, we can say, oh, don't be happy. If this has happened to this guy, to this person, it could happen to you also. It could happen to anyone tomorrow. There is a general possibility. This sort of incident, accident may happen to anybody, right? May, might. Then we have slight possibility, some possibility, a little possibility, okay? Example, we may go to the mall this weekend. We may go to the mall. This means we may or may not. There is some possibility, there is slight possibility. We can say it is 50%, 50%, but we can't decide. It is 50-50 or it is different, okay? But there is not much possibility there, right? Then example, he might be at the gym now. We are trying to find our friend. Where is he? He might be at the gym now. Currently, at the present, just thinking, he might be there, he might not be there. So the possibility is he can be there, he cannot be there. This is what we are discussing in this sentence. Then let's come to could. Past or future possibilities. Example, they could arrive late due to traffic. They could arrive late due to traffic. Now students, my dear students, remember, we are talking about future here. They could arrive late due to traffic. Many students think that could is always the past form of can. It is the past form, but here, and a could should be used to describe something in the past. Look here, we are talking about future. They could arrive late due to traffic. We are talking about a future possibility. This is where I find students making mistakes, or many people making mistakes here, or they don't understand. They say could is for some past ability. I could swim when I was young. Okay, that could is used for some past ability. Not here. Here we are talking about the future. They could arrive late due to traffic. Example, you could have won if you had tried. Remember the third conditional? You could have won if you had tried. You could have won if you had tried. We are talking about a past situation which did not. Past possibility. We are talking about past possibility here. You could have won if you had tried. This means he did not try and he did not win. We studied this concept in modals, if you remember, in conditional sentences, right? Now move on to the next slide. Modals for ability. Can is used for present ability. I can play the piano. This means I have the skill. I can play football. I can play cricket. This means I have the skills. I have the ability to do these. I have learned these. I can play the piano. Then example, they can speak French fluently. This means they are able to speak. They know French. They learned French. Okay, they can. But remember, here we are talking about a present ability. Let's go to the past ability. Could, past ability. Example, when I was a child, I could climb trees easily. When I was a child, I could climb trees easily. So now I cannot climb trees. When I was a child, I could climb trees easily. I'm talking about my past ability. Now I'm old. I can't do that anymore. Example, could you swim when you were 10 years old? I'm asking a question about your past ability. Could you swim when you were 10 years old? You see? Same, past. Yes, I could swim when I was 10. No, I couldn't. This would be the answer. Yes, I could swim. No, I couldn't. That would be the answer. Now let's go to the activity. This would make some things clear. Write 3 things you can do now and 3 things you could do in the past. Please, you will do this exercise and then you can email it to me at my email address, okay? Modals for permission. Can, may. Asking for and giving permission. Asking for permission and giving permission. Have a look at it. Can I borrow your notes? Can I borrow your notes? This is what? Asking for permission. You know, whenever we take something from somebody, we require permission. It is very rude not to ask for permission. So, can I borrow your notes? Okay, permission. Then, may I leave the room? This is more formal. We can use can, we can use may, but remember there is a little difference. Can is less formal. Can is less formal and may is more formal. Remember this thing, okay? May, like you remember when you were students, you used to ask the teacher, sir, may I go to drink water? May I go to the bathroom? Why? There is a formal relationship between the student and the teacher. So they say, may I go? May I go now? May I leave the class? That's how we use it. Now, remember the subtle difference. Can is less formal, may is more formal. So you should know the situations where you can use these. Example, you may start the exam now. First of all, can I borrow your notes? I'm asking for permission. It is also a request, yes. May I leave the room? What is this? May I leave the room? Asking for permission. I'm asking for, let we ask our teachers. You may start the exam. What is this? What is this? This is giving permission. You may start the exam now. The invigilator, the examiner is talking to the students and is saying, you may start the exam now. So this is giving permission. So can and may can be used for asking permission, asking for permission and giving permission. Then we have could. Asking for and giving permission again. Could I open the window? For example, I need some fresh air, but I need to ask my friends. Could I open the window? Maybe somebody has got a cold, is not feeling well, is feeling cold. So he may say, no, sorry, I'm sick, I'm not feeling well, don't do that. So could I open the window? This means I'm asking for permission. Yes, could I open the window is also, it has request in it. It is also request. Asking for permission, it's also a request, okay? Example, again, you could go now. What is this? This is giving permission. This is also a form which many students do not know. You could go now. Again, they confuse it could for past ability. Please do not confuse this could with past ability, activity. Practice asking for permission using can, may and could in different contexts. Different context means in different situation. Please practice, okay? This will give you more confidence and you will learn a language or any language, or you will learn English very well in this way. You need to do some practice. Then, modals for obligation and necessity. Obligation, what is obligation? Obligation is like your duty, okay? Some like work, I am doing the work, this work, teaching, this is my obligation, okay? Modals for obligation and necessity. Necessity, something which is important, you must do that, you can't miss it, okay? Must, strong obligation or necessity. You must submit the assignment by tomorrow. This is what the teacher is saying. You must submit the assignment by tomorrow. This is a strong obligation. This is, you can't miss it. This is compulsory. Driver must stop at a red light. Now, this is also something necessary. You can't miss it. This is also like obligation, necessity. It is like that, both these, but there is some difference when we come to have to. Nowadays, when you look at the grammar books, they will say must is like have to. But there is a difference between these two, between must and have to. And you do need to remember this. Have to, external obligation or necessity. I have to attend a meeting at 10 a.m. Why have to? Why can't I say I must attend a meeting? Okay, must is also right. That's a necessity. But why have I used have to here? Because this is an order from my office, from my boss, from my senior. Okay, I have to. So, and they told me, they sent me an email, tomorrow we have a meeting, okay, or we have a meeting at 10 a.m. today. So whenever somebody asks me, oh, can you go with me somewhere, I say, I'm sorry, I have to attend the meeting at 10 a.m. Why? External, order from outside. It could be your father, it could be your elder brother, it could be the bank manager, it could be any authority, it could be the government. Whenever, it could be the university or the college rules. You see, they forbid you from doing some things, and they tell you to come in time, 8:30 every day. You need to come to the university. So you can say, I have to come at 8:30. Why? University rules, university order is there. Even if you say I must come, it is right. The must is then your personal, something personal obligation. I must reach the university at 8:25. My class starts at 8:30. I have to be in the class at 8:30. Okay? Then we have to wear uniforms at work. You know, some places when you work, they have uniforms. That is the rule. You see, you can't change the rule. You can't disobey the rules. Okay? So you can say we have to wear uniforms at work. Why? This is the factory or the department or the institution's rule. Many schools, colleges also have uniforms. Okay? So, but whenever there is an order from outside, okay, we use have to. Okay? Must is something, my personal obligation or necessity. All right? Should, ought to. Now let's make a difference. What is should and what to ought to? Remember, nowadays most of the time we use should. Why? This is common. The common usage in society is should, not ought to. Okay? And it is used for what? It is used for strong advice. Strong advice. Okay? Ought to, what is the difference? It is formal, old fashioned, and it is on some moral ground. Okay? When we use ought to, it's my moral obligation. Okay? Or it is some thing which is there in the society, in the it is the custom of the these are the customs of society, something like this. Okay? Now see, example, you should apologize to her. What is this? This is a strong advice. You should apologize to her. Okay? Next sentence, you ought to apologize to her. What is ought to? You see, you shouldn't have talked to her like that. In our society, we don't talk to women like this. This is not our culture. It is against the society's norms. So you ought to apologize to her, please. Okay? Or on moral ground, no, you ought to apologize to her. We don't talk to like that with ladies. Okay? This culture is different, right? I hope you got it. Ought to, should is strong advice. All right? Modals for offers, requests and suggestions. Shall for offers and suggestions, mainly in British English. Okay? Shall. Example, nowadays you may not find many people using shall. Let me clear this fact to you. Shall I open the door for you? What is this? Is it an offer or suggestion? It is an offer. Shall I open the door for you? You are offering help to somebody. You are offering help to somebody. Example, shall we meet at the cafe? Is it an offer? No. Is it a request? No. What is it? Suggestion. You're just suggesting something. If we do like this, I think this would be better. Suggesting something. It is not offer, it is not request. It's very clear. Then, will, would. offers, polite requests, and predictions. Now see here, will you join us for dinner? What is this? Offer. Someone is, you see, offering you dinner. Will you join us for dinner? Okay. Easy. We use will here. This is also a point I've seen students struggle here. They don't know that will can be used for offer. Will you join us for dinner? Then you have would. Would you lend me some money? What is this? Would you lend me some money? This is a request. Would you lend me some money? Okay. So then what is the difference between will and would? Yes, would is more formal. Remember this. Would is more formal. Example again different. He will probably call later. Now what is this? Is this offer? No. Is it request? No. Then what is it? What is it? This is just a prediction about future. Future prediction. Prediction talks about future. Yes. He will probably call later. He will come tomorrow. There is no request, there is no offer in these sentences. Okay. I hope you understood the difference between will and would also. Would is more formal. Can, could. Informal requests or offers. Informal, yes. Can, could we are going to use for informal requests and offers. Then my point is, what is formal? May. Formal is may. Now see here, example. Can I help you? This is an offer. Okay. Informal request. Okay. This is I'm sorry. This is an offer. Then could I have the menu please? What is this? This is a request. Can I help you? You're offering help. Could I have the menu please? This is a request. May I help you is possible. May I have the menu please? What is the difference? It is used in formal situations. May I help you? Okay, some official may talk to you like that at the airport or somewhere. In the bank, may I help you? All right, this is formal. May is formal. Otherwise, can, could, informal requests or offers. Activity. Create a dialogue using modals for making offers and suggestions. Okay, 2 you can work in pairs. And then you can create a dialogue. You can both 2 students can write the dialogue and then they can practice this. You get perfect by practicing. Modals in the past. Could have. Okay, indicates a past possibility that did not happen. She could have taken the train earlier. She could have taken the earlier train. What does this show? She was unable to take the train. She missed the train. Indicates a past possibility that did not happen. Again, another example, you could have warned me. What happened? My friend did not warn me. And I am talking to him now. Look, what happened? You could have warned me at least. You did not warn me. So that was a past possibility that did not happen. Now, should have, ought to have. Expresses regret or missed obligation. Request or missed obligation. Example, I should have brought an umbrella. You see, I should have brought an umbrella. He or she did not bring an umbrella and it started raining. I should have brought an umbrella. This shows regret. Oh, you see, it started raining. I should have brought an umbrella. So expresses regret. Then missed obligation. They ought to have informed us earlier. This is missed obligation. It was their duty to inform me. Okay, it was their moral duty to tell me about this. That's a missed obligation. They ought to have informed us earlier, but they did not inform us and we were put in trouble. Right? Would have describes hypothetical situations in the past. If it had rained, we could have cancelled the picnic. This means this did not happen. It did not rain and they did not cancel the picnic. It did not rain and they did not cancel the picnic. Example another, I would have helped you if I had known. You remember, I think you remember the third conditional. I would have helped you if I had known, but I didn't know about this, so I couldn't. I didn't know that you were sick. If I had known, I would have helped you. This is also, this structure, this conditional is a trouble area. Students make mistakes here, okay? So you need to be careful about this also. All right, we move on to the next. Negative forms of modals. Cannot, can't. Expresses impossibility or prohibition. You can't park here. What does this mean? The law says it is prohibited. You cannot park here, sorry. Okay? So, he cannot be serious. Impossibility. We are talking about the present moment. He cannot be serious. This shows, I know this guy, I know him, he's never serious. Okay? At the moment also, okay, we don't need to ask him anything. We know him very well. He can't be serious. Okay, he can't be serious. And at the moment, he's not serious. He can't know. He told you that story? Oh, don't believe him. He can't be serious. Yes, we are telling something about that guy, right? Then must not, mustn't. Prohibits an action strongly. You mustn't touch that. You see, prohibiting an action strong. No, don't do that. You mustn't touch that. You mustn't touch that. Okay? You are stopping somebody strongly when you're using must. Student must not leave the classroom during the test. Student must not leave the classroom during the test. This is again prohibiting somebody and prohibiting strongly. That's where we use must. Okay? Should not, shouldn't. Advises against an action. You are stopping somebody from doing something. See how? You shouldn't eat too much candy. You shouldn't eat too much candy. Advising against. You shouldn't eat. Then you should not speak to his elders. He should not speak to his elders like that. Should. You see? Telling not to do something. Should, we know, is for strong advice. I told you it's for strong advice. But here, advice against an action, stopping somebody. Okay? Stopping somebody strongly. Right? Common mistakes with modals. Overuse of must when have to is appropriate. I told you the difference between must and have to. Example error. I must go to work today. It's better. I have to go to work today. Why? Generally, we work somewhere. We work for somebody. It's our duty. So have to is more appropriate. I have to go to work today. I'm not saying I must to go to work today is wrong. Guys, remember, students, please, it's not wrong. Have to is much better than that. It's better. I'm an employee of this university, so I have to go to work 5 days a week, right? Because this is the university rule. Here I cannot use must, but even if I use it, it is something personal, something personal which I am saying, my personal obligation. Using past tense with modals incorrectly. Example error. He musted leave early. Please, must. Don't make a past form of must like musted. This is not possible. He had to leave early. We don't have a past form of must like musted. So he had to. Whenever we want to use past, use have to. You will say, no teacher, but have to, past is had to. Must should be musted, no. Must, the past of must is had to. Remember this time, that's a delicate point to understand, okay? Mixing modal meanings, confusing advice with obligation. You must eat healthy. It's better, you should eat healthy. Don't make it an obligation. You must, whenever you are giving an advice, you must eat healthy, okay? Don't use must there. Identify and correct the mistakes in the given modal sentences. Have a look. Choose the correct modal to complete each sentence. You can must be quiet in the library. Yes, can, must. You must be quiet in the library. This is the rule of the library all over the world. Okay, it's the same. He finished the report by Friday. Have to, must. He has to. He has to finish the report by Friday. It's an order. It's an order by the boss. Okay, so he has to finish the report by Friday. Exercise 2. Rewrite the sentences using different modals. Example, it is necessary for you to leave early. Instead of saying such a long sentence, answer, you must leave early. You know, for necessity, we said must, right? You remember, you must leave early. Example, it is possible she will join us. She might join us. Look, might is giving us the missing. Possibility is might, if you remember. But if you say it is possible she will join us, long sentence, she might join us. Exercise 3. Identify and correct errors in modal usage. She could went to the store. Now, the corrected one is she could go to the store. After could, after the modals, immediately after the modal, we use the first form. We use the base form. She could go to the store. We don't say she could went, she could played. No. Always after modals, immediately after modal, we use the base form, right? Example, you must to see a doctor. You must see a doctor. Must to see. You see the infinitive to see, to go, to run. No, it is without to. Students make this mistakes. I have seen. You must to see a doctor. It should be you must see a doctor. Why is learning vocabulary important? See, to understand the need for building a strong vocabulary, we'll try to understand this. To learn practical strategies to enhance vocabulary, to use tools like dictionaries and thesauruses effectively. So this is a brief overview why we need to understand this, and this is how it would help us. Now let's say need and significance of vocabulary improves communication. Nowadays we all know that communication is very important. What happens in life? We communicate with each other all the time. Okay? For that we need effective language with good vocabulary. Okay? Communication is not possible with limited or very limited vocabulary. For example, if you say good all the time, how are you? Good. How was the weather? Good. Okay, how was the picnic? Good. How does that look like using good all the time? Okay, you can say excellent, you can say marvelous, you can say exceptional. Okay, so that's how your language would look beautiful. Now, increases understanding. There are difficult subjects like philosophy, law, history, medicine. Now they have some complex vocabulary there. So if you know more words, if your vocabulary is good, only then you can understand. You can understand complex texts and conversations only if you have a wide range of vocabulary and you know the usage also. Okay, just committing vocabulary to the memory, putting it there, and I'm unable to use it is not good. Okay, then it boosts confidence. You know, in speaking and writing, some people, they don't have confidence. What's the reason? They're short of vocabulary, especially in writing. Whenever they start writing, they start thinking. Some students in exams, in tests, they say, oh, I forgot the word. Later, I remembered this was the word I was supposed to use. Why is that so? Let's see how we can remember vocabulary. I'll tell you about this. Then, you see, even when you are writing an essay, like the example I gave you, the same example, it's difficult to write a good essay without good vocabulary. Some students can write 5 pages. Some students cannot write 1 page. Of course, there is a problem of ideas also. They don't have enough ideas. Okay, that is also a problem. But vocabulary is also a big problem. Now, techniques to build a sound vocabulary. Reading regularly. This is the best habit. Nowadays, what do we see? You see, internet is there. Now people like to watch. Okay, listening is good for vocabulary. You listen to new words and you improve your vocabulary. But you can't ignore reading. There are books. Read different genres like news, fiction, non-fiction. Newspapers are there, novels are there, short stories are there, okay, history books are there, autobiographies are there. So see what you like, then start reading. This will improve your vocabulary, but you cannot ignore reading. Reading is a very good habit. Okay, if you find nothing, newspapers, please start reading newspapers. There are different stories. There are sometimes stories in the newspaper. Okay, sometimes science fiction, especially the Sunday magazine has a lot to offer. Then, for example, you read an article about economics and you see the terms, oh, inflation, recession, what do they mean? Then you look up in the dictionary. Oh, I got it. This is how they are used. Now, to infer meaning, context is important. Please, context is very important to infer the meaning of the word. Example, the meeting was adjourned. You can guess that adjourned means ended or paused. Just guess. Even if you are not sure at this moment, then look up the word. Okay, open the dictionary, see the meaning. Okay, don't keep guessing. This is what I want to tell you. All right. Word lists. Maintain a journal for new words and their meanings. Why? So that when you have maintained 200 words, 300, you know these words I have learned and I need to know more words, their meanings, their usage, their pronunciations. Okay, if you keep a record, then you'll say, okay, now by the end of this year I have learned 500 words and I need to learn some new words. Okay, you can keep a record in your mobile phone, you can keep a record in your computer also. That would make it easy if you don't want to write and make a journal. Okay, strategies to build vocabulary. There are word games, there are apps nowadays. Okay, word games like Scrabble. Okay, it's a board game. You have small wooden tiles. Okay, you have like in horizontal, you have vertical, and there are different rules how you place them. You make words. Okay, it's a very interesting game, Scrabble. Okay, try that. And then apps. These days we have apps like Duolingo to make learning fun. Why? When you are learning a language, from there they have an interactive course. Okay, they have interesting exercises. Those are fun exercises. you won't be bored. So my advice would be to go for Duolingo, okay, or other apps which teach language, which teach vocabulary. Then daily practice. Learn 5 words daily and use them in conversations. You see, committing to memory is not enough. I always tell my students, you may commit to your memories so many words. You see, maybe thousands of words. But if you can't use them, what's the use? You see, 5 words, then go to your friends, talk with them. And if you have a friend, talk to him that we will practice language like this. Always practice the new words which you have learned, okay? Nowadays on the internet, there are you are teaching English to somebody teaches you Arabic or French and English. There is a kind of, exchange between languages. This is also possible, okay? You can learn some English from somebody, from a native speaker, okay? And you can teach him your language, right? If they agree. Now, active use. Whenever you learn a word, put it in writing and speaking, please. If you don't use the word, you will forget the word easily, okay? Practice them in different sentences, different contexts, okay? Then synonyms and antonyms, understanding word relationships. Synonyms, words with similar meaning. Example, happy, joyful, okay? Now, you can replace, you cannot say when you are using vocabulary, you cannot use big all the time. Instead of big, you can use enormous, huge, gigantic, okay? Then antonyms, opposite, words with opposite meanings. Hot, cold, tall, short, okay? Example, generous is the antonym of stingy, and optimistic is the antonym of pessimistic. So these also help you. Synonyms and antonyms also help you in learning vocabulary. Practical exercise on synonyms and antonyms. See, exercise. Choose a word, example, bright. Synonyms, luminous, radiant. Use them in sentence. What is the antonym? Dim, dull. Now sentence using synonyms. The room was luminous with sunlight. Her smile was radiant. Sentences with antonyms. I can't read anything in this dim light. I can't read anything in this dim light. His ideas were rather dull and boring. Look, we have used them in different types of sentences. Use of dictionary in vocabulary development. Dictionary is very important tool for learning a language. Okay, my dear students, remember this. Quick tip. Okay, while you're reading, you find new words. Look up the words. Open your dictionary. Okay? Okay, you find benevolent. What is the meaning of benevolent? Oh, you find it kind and gentle. All right, I know the meaning. Again, meaning is not enough. Meaning, pronunciation and usage. Meaning, pronunciation and usage. Okay, remember this thing. Example, serendipity. This new word, the occurrence of events by chance. Okay, we have chosen a difficult word. Okay, this difficult word. It is showing you the pronunciation, how to pronounce it. Now see, word origins. What are the origins of words? For deeper understanding, we need to know them. Okay. Now see, example, the word benevolent. What is the origin? This word has come from Latin. Bene means good, volent means wishing. Okay. Now look at the right side of the slide. Benevolent, what is this? What part of speech is this? It's adjective. All right. Then it has given you the synonyms. Okay. And then it gives you what is the adverb, how do you make the noun. Okay. So he says a benevolent donor, a benevolent society, kind and gentle society. This is how you can use your dictionary and using the dictionary practical exercise. See this challenging word. Example, obfuscate. I've given you a difficult word. Now, obfuscate means to make something unclear or obscure intentionally, on purpose. Okay? How to pronounce obfuscate? Example sentences. The politician's speech was designed to obfuscate truth. You see, to hide truth, to make it unclear, all right? Now, you know this is a noun. You have the strong synonyms. You have the meanings which match with it, okay? Then you have the opposite also when you look up the dictionary, okay? So you and I believe you all have been using the dictionary, okay? So, but please make it a habit. I know we learning dictionary from a very young age, but people have stopped using it. Use the dictionary on your mobile phone, all right? Your mobile dictionary. Thesaurus, a tool for expanding vocabulary. Why? Thesaurus is commonly known as a dictionary of synonyms. Okay? Now you find the synonyms and enrich your writing and speaking. For one word, it will give you so many synonyms. Okay? Like for example, important. If you keep using important all the time, it looks very boring, uninteresting. So you can use crucial, vital, significant. Crucial, vital, significant. Now, ensure one important thing, students, which I have to tell you. Ensure that that synonym which you have chosen fits the context, the situation. Different words are used in different situations. You can go to net thesaurus.com. You can find the word important. Strong matches are there. Other matches are there. You can easily find. Thesaurus will help you a lot. Please remember this thing. Practical thesaurus exercise. The project was very important to the team. The project was very important to the team. Now you take help of the thesaurus. What will tell you? Okay, the project was crucial to the team. The project was crucial to the team. Repeat for 2 more sentences. She is a good speaker. If you take help of thesaurus, it will tell you she's an eloquent speaker. You know how beautiful it looks now. Okay? Original, he is always happy. You can say he's always cheerful. He's always cheerful. Now, eloquent, it will give you the pronunciation. It will tell you this is an adjective. Strong matches are there. Weak matches are there. And you should simply make it a habit to use thesaurus. And thesaurus.com, I would recommend you. Contextual vocabulary learning. Use context. Context the situations. You know, in different situations, different words are used. Okay? The surrounding words or ideas. From the surrounding words and idea, you try to guess the meaning of the word. Example, the lawyer's rebuttal was concise and to the point. Now, see, what does it mean? Concise. You can infer concise means brief or short. Concise means brief or short. You are just guessing. But still, my advice, if you are not sure, look up the word. Open the dictionary, please. Practical tip. Highlight new words when you are reading. Highlight new words and infer their meanings before checking the dictionary. Underline them. Use a highlighter marker any way you like. Okay? If it's your own book. All right? And then what you can do is first infer. Guess the meaning. Then look up the word in the dictionary. All right? Root words, prefixes and suffixes. Why should we learn root words? Okay? Root words help us understand unfamiliar words easily. How? Look, tele means distance. Vision means seeing. So television means seeing from a distance. seeing from a distance. Other examples, biology. Bio means life, logy means study. So biology means study of life. Then you have this un. Un means not. You add believable, unbelievable, not believable. Okay, prefixes, they come before a word. These are short parts of a word, come in the beginning and they change the meaning. All right. Practical root word exercise. Now look at the word. Now let's analyze it. Unbelievable. Break down prefix un. Un means not. Okay. And the root word is believe, to trust or accept. Suffix able. Able came at the end. We have prefixes, we have suffixes. Able means capable of. All right. Now references, Merriam-Webster dictionary, Cambridge dictionary, we have used these, thesaurus.com. These have, and in future also they will help you a lot. I'll thank you very much for listening to me, and I have one advice for you. Please, whatever I have taught you today, what did we study? Conditionals, we studied the modals, we studied how to study vocabulary, how to expand our vocabulary. Please practice whatever tips I have given you. Thank you very much.